I got a lot of polarizing views going on about something.
Who?
First of
You?
all, nice car. Looks clean. Good
Thanks, man.
job.
I am doing good so far. I'm living the life, I got a cooler in the back seat. You see my cooler?
Yeah. You're really
I got
living
everything I need
large.
in there. I got
Pandemic
everything I
ready.
need. Yeah,
Pandemic ready.
I got my bare minimums. I just filled it up with a thing of ice. Every day, this is what I do. I go, I get my cooler, I
Hmm.
fill it up with a bag of ice. I get my water. I get my Diet Cokes. And at the end of the day, I throw a few beers in there for later. You know what I'm saying?
Keep them cold.
But I got my fizzy waters. I got this. I got that. I got everything I need. It's honestly,
Nobody really thinks about having a cooler in the back of their car. I kind of think it's the smartest thing to do, whether or not you work predominantly in your car or not.
yeah, I'll never not do it again. Oh, shit. I just forgot. I got deli meats.
Deli meats.
I stopped at 7-Eleven. Oh, these are fucking awesome. Rollatini, mozzarella, and pepperoni. A little, you know what I'm saying? And then this
Wow.
one is a mozzarella and a spicy cooked salam.
What else are you going to eat for the day? That's all you need.
And then I got a little cheddar cheese, 7-Eleven. That's a little deli news for you, a little deli update, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, wow.
But
What
I'm
an
gonna keep
exciting
these on
cold
ice.
open.
I'm gonna keep these on ice.
Keep them on ice. Keep them on ice.
Yeah.
Good job for you. I've been getting a lot. Personally, I haven't gone anywhere. I'm not going anywhere ever again. I think I'm just done. I'm just going to sit in this apartment for the rest of my life. What I am doing is not shaving my mustache, and it's bringing a lot of thoughts from a lot of different people. It's polarizing, let me tell you. It's polarizing.
Wow. You're not shaving the stash. How far are we going with the stash?
I don't know if you can see there. There's a little bit like coming over the lip, and I sort of trim that a little bit, but I don't feel the need to shave fully. It's fun to play with, though. Let me tell you. But a
You
lot of
look.
no, no, no,
I
no.
mean, you're starting to look like a '70s porn star.
My fiance
I'm.
thinks I look somewhere between a porn star and like a Nazi, which is not the worst place to be. It's not the best place to be. But I also have, my sister who doesn't enjoy it. I have people who think I've never looked more dashing. Where do you stand on this?
Well, when you're measuring from the bottom, anything's an improvement, right?
Yeah.
You look good.
Let me tell you about the two baddest cats in town. They're here to talk about random shit floating around. So grab yourself a drink, baby, if you please. It's just shooting the breeze with Chafe and Cheese. Now tell me something, boys.
Well, chim chim charu and a ho hum too. Welcome to another rousing, riveting, rip roaring, rip torn, rip van winkle
Wow.
of an episode of
Shooting the breeze with Chafe and Cheese. I'm Chafe,
I'm Cheese.
and we're shooting the breeze today.
That hey baby. Oh, doctor, how you do?
Good. And we got a guest on today. Another guest.
Another guest, another Corona cast, another pandemic pod. The wonderful, the alluring, the goofball Jake Keefe will be joining us in 2 shakes of a lamb's dick. But for now,
For now, I feel good, man.
do
I gotta
you?
tell you.
You're the
Yeah.
only one I know
I'm-
who feels good in this entire fucking time. You're literally living on another planet. First of all, you're living out of your car,
I know.
which is already insane.
It's
Most,
true.
most people in that scenario would not be feeling very good, but you are feeling good. Explain yourself.
I feel like I'm a little ahead of the curve. I feel like I got my shit in order. I've been getting my shit in order for years now, in case something like this happened. And I'm lucky, thank you, whoever above, that I still have a job. My job is doing very well. I just heard, this will be delayed, but I just heard today that Uber is talking about acquiring Grubhub.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, listen, for what I do, it's fine. I'm okay. And I'm not paying rent, baby. I'm just not paying rent. I'm the OMAD nomad. I eat 1 meal a day and I'm just traveling around the city, baby.
The OMAD nomad, self-proclaimed. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I think staying inside only exacerbates the hysteria. The fact that you
Correct.
are out and about, you're able to squash any sort of misery you might be having. If you sat down for as long as I have, you'd be feeling some shit. You'd be baking some banana breads just like me. Trust me.
The longest I sit down is when I'm doing these with you. I could be out there earning, but I do this. I do this for the tens and tens, you know?
What a kind,
Ooh.
kind soul. Nobel Prize winning Chafe, let me tell you.
That's what I do.
Unbelievable. Ugh, but I got to tell you, it's trying
How are
times
you?
all over. I'm
I
okay.
want to just check in. I want to see how my boy's doing. What's going on?
You know, the monthly check-in. I guess it's trying. Things are, you know, if we're getting real about it, some days I feel like I can conquer the world, but most days I'm doing the bare minimum just to not get fat and just to not get crazy. I think that's all anyone can do at this point.
I think that's life in a nutshell,
Don't
regardless
get
of
fat,
pandemic.
don't get crazy, and then you die one day. That's it.
You have some fun in between, but that's all you need, really.
How do
That's
you
all
have
you
fun
need.
in this time? What are you supposed to do that's fun in this time? You walk outside, people are freaking out, they're wearing masks. You go to a bluff near a beach, there's 50 people, you get scared. There's nothing to do.
Pick up a guitar, baby.
I am.
Pick up a guitar, paint a painting. You know, smell a flower. Smell a flower.
I did smell a
Go enjoy
flower.
life. And you know what? The best thing is the relationship you have with your lady.
That's true.
That's all you need. You found the one, man. You found the one. That's
I
the
am
best thing.
thankful for that.
Yeah, at least you got that.
At least I have that. If I didn't have that, everything would be gone to shit. And you know me, I'd be losing my goddamn mind. Say hi, Steph. Hi. The greatest person. She's waving. She's waving.
Hi, Steph.
She's thrilled to be quarantined with me, let me tell you.
I bet.
Oh boy. Look who it is. He's looking good. His hair's looking good too somehow in this quarantine life. Good for
It's
you.
crazy.
Look at this guy.
I like it. Well, this hysterical man is an actor. He's an improviser and a sketch performer and a good buddy from the good old Syracuse days. He teaches people how to be funny as well. And he just released a short film that he wrote, produced, and starred in that is absolutely the most prophetic thing I've seen in a while. And it makes no sense how he came up with this before the pandemic. It's called This Is How the World Ends. Jake Keefe, welcome to the damn show.
Hello, hello. Thank you guys for having me. Excited to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. What's going on? How you feeling?
Good. Trying to stay busy. I feel like every time somebody's like, how are you? It's like, good.
Yeah, exactly. I've been trying to find a different way to ask someone how they're doing, but there's no other way than being like, how you holding up? What's going on? How you okay? Everyone okay? There's no way to be like gentle about it. But that deep breath, I think everybody needs to take. But what's your quarantine sitch real quick? What do you got going on over there?
I'm with my fiance. My fiance and I are still in New York City.
Mazel tov.
Mazel
Mazel
tov.
tov.
Baby.
How long you been engaged?
We got engaged in January. So it's like 4 months, something like that, which is good. And we were looking at doing a wedding next year. So, we're still trucking along.
On track.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Al, when's your wedding going to be?
Supposed to be in January. We will see.
2022?
2021. 2021.
Okay.
Have you guys put down deposits and all that stuff? Are you all like?
We put down deposits, but we have little clauses being like if coronavirus happens. So we're covered. We're good. But we're hopeful.
Oh, good.
We're hopeful. Maybe falsely hopeful, but we're hopeful. So yeah, I mean, your hair looks good. Did you cut it at all? Because somehow.
No, not yet. My fiance wants to cut it. She's very excited to do that.
Just give me a little brief pull of the sideburns. How are those sideburns?
Oh, buddy,
You're not even Jewish, and you're getting the payas look. It's pretty fantastic.
Oh my!
No, I am Jewish. I was raised Jewish.
Are you fully Jewish?
My mom is. So according to Judaism, yes.
Yeah, it's the law.
Yeah, I had a bar mitzvah, and now I'm more Buddhist than Jewish. But yeah, I was raised Jewish.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about your Buddhism now. When did that happen?
Man, probably like 4 years ago. And then I started like really meditating and doing all that sort of stuff probably like 3 years ago. It was through Danny Skinner. Danny Skinner gave me a book, and I was like, all right, let me read this. And then I was like, oh, what a beautiful like way of life. Let me get like deep into that. And then, as you mentioned, I do a lot of improv. And so one day I finally was like, oh, these are the same thing. And so that's how I mainly teach improv using principles of Buddhism and meditation.
Wow.
Interesting.
That sounds
Now,
fantastic. So go ahead. Go ahead.
I have a question. I dabble in Buddhism as well. I've read many a primer on Buddhism, if you will. What is the threshold? Because I practice meditation too. Like, where, I don't call myself a Buddhist, but where is the threshold with which you have to cross in order to be a Buddhist?
I think a Buddhist would say there is no threshold. I think it's
That's the most Zen thing.
Yeah, it's the most like existential religion where it's just like, yeah, if you're Buddhist on Wednesday, you're Buddhist, and then on Thursday you're something else, and you're something else on Thursday.
That's a nice way to be. I could get down with that.
This is why I love Buddhism.
I'm thinking about I've been thinking about converting for a long time, just being like the only thing that makes sense to me in this world for religion, if you want to call it a religion, would you call it a religion or would you call it a way of life?
Zen is more the way of life, and that's more like, you just exist. Buddhism is a little bit, their Book of the Dead, man, it gets a little bit crazy. It's a little nuts.
Wow. So how do you combine, I mean, I guess improv is all about, staying in the moment, connecting with the other person and kind of feeding off of that. Is that similar to the basic principles of Buddhism and you just combine the two?
Yeah, it's just about like presence and like being and how do you get out of your head for both of them, right? Zen and Buddhism is all about how do you just exist and be. There's this gorgeous metaphor. Yeah, that's the word. There's this monk named Suzuki who Lizzie Ingram recommended his book.
Shout out to Lizzie
a decade
Ingram.
ago.
Shout out.
One of the best.
Zen Mind, Beginner Mind. Great book. And there's a metaphor where he talks about how a waterfall, the droplets of water can never understand that they're a part of this like bigger thing. So the goal in life is to just accept being a drop of water and not worry about where you are in the waterfall or that you're a part of the waterfall or anything like that. So same thing in a scene in improv. It's like, you can't ever be like, I'm making 15 to 20 minutes of comedy. You need to be like, cool, I am the next line that comes out of my mouth. And that's all I can be.
Wow. Do you find that you've become a better improviser, a better teacher, and a better person because of this, or one of the three?
I think I've always been just a top shelf person. So no, it's calmed me down a lot. It's definitely been very helpful for like anxiety and stress, especially now. As a teacher, yes, because now I'm able to deal with because I'm on the younger side as an educator, and so sometimes I will have people that are just like, you punk kid, you don't know anything, and I got to be like, cool, I understand, and I hear your opinion, and here's why I disagree with it.
Yeah. Well, that's great, man. That's great. Speaking of being Buddhist and Zen, let's talk about how the world ends. This is how the world ends. This is how the world ends. So you created this short film. When did you start writing this bad boy?
So I wrote it as a feature about 3 years ago. I started writing it. And then I got caught up. I was doing a play called Puffs, which was a big Harry Potter play. And I got busy with that show. I got very busy. Nice. And then probably about a year ago, I saw this short film called Thunder Road. I don't know if you guys have heard of Thunder Road.
Yes, fantastic.
I read an interview with the creator, and he was like, just create whatever you can with what you have. And so I had this feature, and I was like, I can cut this down to 15 pages, and everything takes place, all the like end of the world stuff takes place off screen. So I was like, great, we can film this in a house, in an apartment. And it still was a process, but
yeah, I have made a short film. It is not an easy thing to do, but I haven't heard the word pandemic until we were in a pandemic. How did you come up with the concept for creating a thing about a pandemic, ending the world, and then a year later, here we are, which is insane. But how did you come up with that idea, and yeah, where did it spawn from?
So it spawns from this thing of like, what is the main takeaway of it is like, despite the period at the end of the sentence. Like every word is important. And so it sort of came out of that idea of like, how do you live and move forward in a world where the whole goal is death? And so it initially started as a much bigger project, and it's much more than just a virus. But again, obviously budget constrictions made me be like, all right, well, let's not worry about the other aspects that would end the world. So it really came out of this idea of grief, right? And like, how do you how do you live in a world where everybody is experiencing grief at the same exact time? And then I was like, oh, well, you just kill people on a mass level. And then what does that? And then here we are.
Here we are.
So do you think this might be a little too deep of a question, but do you think that this is going to be good for the movie in terms of people watching it? Do people relate to it? Well, I mean, I know I watched it and I was like, holy shit, this is actually happening right now. How did he do this? How did he know? So that's one aspect of, and I'm sure other people are like, I don't know if I can watch this right now, even because it's so real, but that's also kind of amazing about it. Do you think it's going to be good for the movie ultimately?
I don't know. I think it's definitely gotten a lot more organic traction than it would have without all this stuff happening, but it's also made it that much harder to publicize it. Because like any blog or website that I've reached out to have been very gracious and been like, oh, we watched it and we loved it, but unfortunately this is too much right now, and like we don't want to put this out in the world. And like a bunch of the film festivals that I'm sending it to got canceled this year because of it. Right. So I don't know if they're going to be like, yeah, let's like stick it to the virus by showing virus films, or they're going to be like, no, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, ultimately there's like a great connection and a great sort of like release at the end of the film, not to give it away, but like it is ultimately a positive ending, which I think
with some very dark humor along the way, but yes,
yeah. Which, I mean, how could it not? Hey, it's Jake Keefe and it's a pandemic, so makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that's really exciting. So what's next for you? What are you working on now in this crazy time?
Well, I am in pre-production on another short, which is on hold right now. We were in pre-production, my team and I, for a couple of weeks, and we had some real great actors lined up and all this other stuff, but that's on hold. So I'm just trying to write a lot of stuff, and I'm in the middle of working on something that who knows what it's going to be, but it's coming, which is good. It's the first time where I've started writing and my brain is like, yo, let's keep doing this. And then I'm working on an animated thing that's like a noir detective story with dogs.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because I was just like, let's just do something weird and silly and see what happens with it. Which is fun.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Where can we find this short? Where can we find it?
If you go to YouTube, you search Jake Keefe Comedy, you can find all my stuff. My short films up there, a couple of sketches. Yeah. And then there's going to be a song. I'm releasing a song at some point soon. That's very, very fun and weird stuff.
May I ask what genre of song?
It's a Talking Heads type of song.
Oh, okay.
It's in the vein of, all that stuff.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Well, thanks for coming on. We will definitely give you a shout all over the internet. Check out the film. It is hilarious and dark, but really, really beautiful and really well shot. And you did a great job, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh my God. What a guy. What a mensch.
We've done it again. Shout out to Jake Keefe for coming on the pod. Thanks for sharing it with us. He's a funny, funny lad. Check out his film. It is a divine, kind of prophetic, kind of goofy play on what's happening now. This is how the world ends. Give it a go. I'll throw a ticker underneath of where you can find it again. Enjoying the ticker.
Beautiful.
You guys enjoying the ticker? Let us know if you're enjoying the ticker.
We might as well be CNBC, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're really stepping up our game.
All right. Well, I'm done.
All right.
Good night.
Good luck.
Good eve.
Good day.
Good morning.
Hashtag Chafe and Cheese. Hashtag STB podcast. Hashtag tell your grandma.